Right, thank you very much. And thank you for giving the first talk of the day to a climate and environmental charity project. Obviously there's a slight bias because Upstream is literally a member of the Climate Neutral Cardano Alliance. And we have quite a large number of stake pools and other partners that have helped us to get here. So this is really a Cardano community project. That's why it's actually a very good example. It's not just all about charity or certain aspects, but it utilizes the technological and community power of the Cardano community to provide real utility in the real world. I'm Christian from Shiftpool, and I'm one of the stake pool operators, and one of the stake pools that is member of the Climate Neutral Cardano Alliance. And one of the purposes here is to, if you are a stake pool operator or interested in the project, that you join the community, because our goal really is to make Cardano one of the most environmentally friendly and positive impact communities and blockchains in the world. I will specifically talk about a project called CNC Alliance, and this is literally a 2-year project. I talked about this at the last summit a year ago, and that's when it really started. Before that was just preparation and work towards, then an ISPO, and now we're at the end of it, so I'll tell you what we have achieved. And I will tell you a little bit about Climate Neutral Cardano and basically where we're going next. There's a website there, there's much more information. Please do stop me as well if I talk too much, because it's something I often do. Why are we here? Why are we doing this? The challenge really, and it started out with a community of climate activists, environmental activists, if you like. Actually, a lot of environmental activists joined Cardano specifically because of the proof of stake protocol and the community behind it. So I joined in 2021. I didn't even have a stake pool in the beginning, but there were already a number of stake pools that were working on climate change and doing good, using the stake pool model to have a positive impact. There is obviously a massive elephant in the room, that's climate change, and we think with Cardano we can help as well, rather than being a negative contributor like other blockchains. So we want to turn negative energy use and the negative impacts of energy use of also the Cardano blockchain into something positive to reduce global warming. We want to make Cardano a blockchain that is overall having a positive impact in whatever we do. We are a growing community of environmental activists, stake pool operators and partner organizations, and this project I'm talking about is going to tell you how it all comes together a little bit. Our actions really are, it started out with, we're running our stake pools on renewable energy. We donate from our income, which is provided through Cardano and the functionality, towards environmental projects, and we build and manage environmental projects. But it really happens because of our members. Anyone who participates, who signs up, can choose what they want to do, and we really want to have active people who have ideas, who want to make use of the Cardano blockchain to do their own, and then we work together to make it happen. So impact staking is, a hashtag that we often use, and there are a couple of really good reports that have come out from Sustainable ADA, for example, as well. Impact staking really refers just purely in a sense that if you stake to some of our pools, you will have a positive impact. And that could be environmental, that could be medical, like other charities, that could be various aspects of having a positive impact onto the planet. In our specific situation, we are saying, okay, if you stake to our pools, we will do what we said. We will run on renewable energy, and we are working on environmental projects, and we are donating to those projects and make them happen. In general, what we have done so far, so CNC, or Climate Neutral Cardano, is existing since about early 2021, and that's when it grouped up and when the first stake pool operators came together to see how we can do this. We initially focused on the Cardano Forest project. You might know at the first summit, the Cardano Foundation, Veritree, and the Climate Neutral Cardano Alliance launched the Cardano Forest to actually, from the community, we got 1 million ADA donated to plant 1 million trees. That was finished in early 2022. So literally took about 5 months, I think, to raise 1 million ADA. which was slightly more worth at the time. But you know, we don't want to go there right now. But you know, it's one of the challenges that we have to work through. I will talk a little bit more about the second point here that we have followed on from after we have finished the Cardano Forest project, which is the ISPO model. And we also work on other projects such as carbon accounting and whatever people want to work on, including currently people are talking about another SIP to reduce and monitor energy consumption of Cardano in general, which requires people to help because there's plenty of work, and I think you will see that. So CNC Alliance comes from climate neutral Cardano Ala. Ala is a Malagasy word for forest. And it's basically a collaboration between a charity called Tetikasa Ala, which is Project Forest in Malagasy, and the CNC Alliance. And really we are addressing a big problem in Madagascar specifically. And the reason why we choose this project, because it was sort of a size where we can make a difference. So the charity we work with called Tetikasa Ala had sort of the idea to start a food forest. They already had worked for a few years on it. They had a little bit of funding, but were running out. We basically said, well, look, we want to continue what we did with the Cardano Forest, but we don't have the whole community. We just want to see what we can do as stake pool operators. And we chose a project we thought we could fund significantly and we make a difference. And that's, I think, what we have done. Madagascar is also a hotspot of problems and challenges in terms of climate change and biodiversity loss. There's massive deforestation going on, and there is problems for local farmers after they have deforested the land to actually grow enough food to live. So this charity project, the Food Forest, is really making a difference because it protects forests and it provides sustainable food sources in the long run to the community, so it can grow even after we stop funding them, if we stop funding them. That's how we launched the CNC Alliance project a year ago. We wanted to plant 100,000 trees. We haven't quite achieved that goal, particularly because of the exchange rate, but that was the initial ambition, and we are very close to our ADA target. There's a white paper with a lot of details that you can access on our website. This is the charity we work with. It's called Tetikasa Ala. It's literally 3 people who are partly living in France and partly in Madagascar, who are from Madagascar, who have started this charity before we came to it. They had a little bit of funding from the French government to prove that they can do it. And the key activities really there are rural development. They know people there, they know the local farmers, and they basically teach people to do a sustainable agroecology technology, getting away from monocultures, from artificial fertilizers, etc., which they can't really afford anyway, and at the same time protect the forests and grow additional shade trees and so forth in order to provide a sustainable agriculture, really. So the ISPO we launched in November last year, literally at the summit. It was a 6-month ISPO, but the original goal was, I've said here 300,000 ADA, but it was meant to be $300,000 because we thought we could get there, and it wasn't maybe totally out of the realm at the time when we started this, and that would have been enough to plant 100,000 plants on 20 hectares. And this will be direct donations from our pools. Part of our basically income will go there. Our actual goal to raise 100,000 ADA is actually nearly complete. And right now, because that is a little bit less than what it's used to be, or we thought it would be, it will actually, it has completed to plant on 3.6 hectares. So that's one of the challenges. From Tetikasa Ala, it's actually a lovely project, and one of the reasons why we chose them as well, because we can have direct feedback. What we learned from the Cardano Forest project, and I don't know how much you know about it, and if you have had NFTs, it was pretty difficult to get any response, to know what was actually going on there. Like, this is a massive issue for most charities. You're giving to tree planting, but you just trust that they do the right thing, and Cardano can provide you a better way of doing that, reporting back, putting it on the blockchain, and actually a smaller charity is much more willing to learn how a blockchain works and how we're doing things, and then report back to us, whereas bigger charities, we are too small for them. That's partly why we work with them, and but also because we love the project there. We had started with 9 pools with this project. We grow this to 25 pools who have donated over the lifetime of the ISPO. They all donated more than 20% of their income. We have created CNC Alliance tokens that were minted and to reward delegators. We have produced token utility, and there are a number of NFT projects that have partnered with us for people to exchange those CNC Alliance tokens to move forward. And we also had a number of other partners, really. That was a lot of collaboration going on to provide the technology we needed to make this happen. Timeline, just to give you an idea, 2 years really. It started in early January 2022 after the Cardano Forest. Donation started in April 2022 before we launched the ISPO. Then we had a 6-month ISPO from November until May this year. We raised 70,000 ADA during the ISPO. We had an additional raffle that we started, and sometimes maybe it came across as a bit too much sales pitch, but that was an interesting way of doing things and see if we can raise more funding. We raised an additional 15,000 ADA through the raffle, and right now we are sort of at the end of the ISPO. We have our NFT claim portal online where people can claim their NFT rewards for the tokens they have had received. We have, and I'll go to that, raised more than 90,000 ADA until now. What we did together, really just as an overview, when you run a project like this, we had to audit the NGO. Are they actually existing? A small NGO somewhere in Madagascar. That took a few months to verify they are an NGO. They also speak French there. Not all of us speak French, unfortunately, but we learned to communicate. We needed to onboard them. They had to create their own Cardano wallet, and we need to figure out how that is taxed. We had to do accounting, make sure that everyone donates the right amounts and track it, put the transaction IDs all online on our website. We did think about how we do the project reporting. There are project NFT milestones out there that you can download where you have complete data about what has been achieved at every point of the ISPO. What do we want to offer? There's tokenomics, which you know is it's a massive issue always, how to discuss that. There's a whole information on the website there. We had to identify and work with a lot of partner organizations, and otherwise it couldn't have happened really. Particularly we had our main treat here really is our NFTs. And we have worked with 4 NFT partners, proxies, who are here today. Earth Natives, Madas Lemur, and Yumi Universe, who are all really well-known projects, and they have done a fantastic work. They have literally produced unique NFTs for this project that you can only get with the tokens you as a delegate to the pools got. We were thinking about carbon offsets and problems with it in the white paper. It's all about communication at the end, getting people on board, project planning, execution, monitoring, and marketing, and much, much more. And that's all done by a decentralized community. We're still individual pools and projects, and we come together literally on weekly meetings, multiple weekly meetings, and people talk about what they have achieved and go away and continue doing things. In terms of the results here, you can see there's a CNC Alliance dashboard of what we have achieved that was live. There's 90,000 ADA donated. You go to the website, you can find it programmed by one of our stake pool operators. And how many trees were planted in total? We're about 15,000 trees in total. Some are still in pots. Some are already planted in the ground, which is enough for the 3.6 hectares. We literally, most of this money 80% of the money went to the local farmers. We paid the local farmers. They were taught how to do sustainable agriculture, took it to their own fields as well. And about 10 farmers literally over 1.5 years now we funded with this funding. 25 stake pools were involved, and yeah, that's sort of a quick dashboard. And at the moment we have this CNC Alliance portal, NFT redemption portal open for anyone who has CNC Alliance tokens. You can see here the right one top here is Proxies. Where's Proxies actually, who made the, oh yeah, here, right, sorry. Tudor made that, or his wife actually, this fantastic, right, that's not working very well. This fantastic NFT here. We have Madas Lemur here, who have obviously a Lemur created. We have Earth Natives, and we have Yumi Universe, and they're all unique NFT series produced for this charity project. So thank you very much for that. 1 or 2 pictures and then I'm coming to an end. Impact. You can see a couple of pictures on the website as well of what has happened, how they did the work, from creating tree nurseries, bring them on the ground, teaching people there. This is Malagi there. We know her, and we have had a number of Twitter spaces or X spaces, whatever it's called now, to talk about this. People had the chance to communicate and ask questions. Planting is going on. The next planting season will actually start now. In terms of what is coming up now, is basically we are reevaluating our next project, and we are hoping to onboard more stake pool operators and partners to develop the next steps. And there are a number of ideas, but one thing that really is coming is a documentary. So we right now have John here, who is also working for Empower and other projects, who is literally right now, yesterday, I think he arrived in Madagascar. He was in Sierra Leone before. He's right now, this is a picture from Sierra Leone. You can find him also on Instagram, John behind the scenes. He's literally traveling there because we had that issue. We were talking to Madagascar, but how do you, with pictures it's really hard to imagine. But if you have someone there who is a very good documentary maker, they will hopefully show us really what we have achieved and how it looks like now, because it's really hard to imagine without being there otherwise. So he is there, he's going to be there for 3 weeks. We have only funded part of his trip with some of our donations, but he has made it happen, and he loves to work on charity projects. And it's a picture from him he shared yesterday from Madagascar, not from our side. And in early 2024, we will have a documentary of this project specifically and what Cardano has achieved. That's really the last slide. What I'm here for, so if you can maybe communicate that, if you want to participate, we have a website there, you can find more information. It's starting to get a bit messy because of all the information that is there, but we'll work on it to improve it. Please, if you want to, get involved, help us improve that. Obviously, we have a Twitter account or X account, follow us there. And what we really want is more people, active members who are interested in this kind of work, who can help us currently look at energy consumption of server farms. If anyone is interested from a technology side of view, should we go more into server farms, cloud computing, which is having a lower electricity consumption potentially, but is less decentralized. So there will need to be discussions in the Cardano community, what we want to do. We can decide that together. There are other things like monitoring our energy consumption, offsetting our impact in general, and then just use the technology to do good in the world. We have a Discord channel. We meet on a Monday, usually every Monday, for people to join us, have a look, and just join and make a difference. Thank you very much.